My name is Jake West, and I'll be presenting an informative speech on the Great Barrier Reef.
So my name is Savannah. Shelby. Dania. Casey.
Kevin.
Jalen.
Gabby.
The Great Barrier Reef is located in the Coral Sea and is a little south of Papua New Guinea and extends south along the northeastern coast of Australia and the territory of Queensland. The Great Barrier Reef stretches more than 1,600 miles, and comparative to the United States, this is equivalent to a little bit larger of an area from Boston to Miami along the eastern coast of the United States. It's the largest living structure on Earth, and we can actually be seen from outer space. You can see the faintish light blue dots of the reef along the coast of Queensland on Australia. It is one of the richest areas in terms of diversity in the world. Coral reefs make up less than 1% of marine ecosystems, but are home to 25% of the ocean's saltwater fish. The diversity of this reef, you can find dwarf goby fish that are about the size of your fingernail compared to humpback whales and whale sharks that are the largest living animals on planet Earth. The Great Barrier Reef is the 7th natural wonder of the world, and it first began forming around 48 to 58 million years ago. The Great Barrier Reef has the highest diversity of animals in the entire world. It has more diverse animals than the rainforest and any other area on planet Earth. The flatback sea turtle is one of the most popular animals to be found on the Great Barrier Reef, although the reef is home to 6 of the 7 species of marine sea turtles. It has 600 types of coral, both soft coral and fast coral. And soft coral. Actually, the reef is home to 216 species of birds. So this reef isn't just home to animals that live in the water. It attracts seabirds and shorebirds from all different species. The reef is actually made up of 2,900 individual reefs and over 900 islands conjoined into one. It began forming around 48 to 58 million years ago. However, due to climate change and other aspects of the Earth's changing climate, it has repeatedly died and began forming over and over again. Scientists believe that the actual coral reef that we see today began forming around 20 to 30,000 years ago on the foundation of the base of the dead reef the reef that has died off from the glacial period from the rise and change of sea levels throughout the years. Global warming is a huge threat to the survival of the Great Barrier Reef. Coral reefs require specific conditions to grow, and climate change, the crown of thorns starfish, and fishing are primary threats to the Great Barrier Reef. Pollution is one of the main causes of die-off to the Great Barrier Reef. 80% of the land adjacent to the Great Barrier Reef is used for fishing, or is used for farming. However, 50% of the coastal wetlands that used to cover the shoreline have now been destroyed due to housing, hotels being built up, and other human things that have destroyed these coastal wetlands. But these coastal wetlands were used to filter out the toxins before they would be released into the ocean from the farming. However, due to the destruction of these, they are no longer being able to be stopped, and they're just going completely into the ocean. And this is causing huge eutrophication along the Great Barrier Reef, which is causing algae blooms. And what it does is it takes the oxygen out of the water, and it competes with the corals that are there that use that oxygen, and it causes the corals to die off from the algae blooms. And the crown of thorns starfish is a natural predator that lives on the Great Barrier Reef and feeds on the polyps of stony and soft corals. However, due to overfishing, it is taking the natural predators of the crown of thorn starfish away, and the crown of thorn starfish is multiplying and has a huge outbreak and is killing off way more of the corals that can be grow naturally and can replenish themselves. Another aspect that harms the reef is its natural beauty. It's harmful within itself because the reef is so beautiful that over 2 million people visit the Great Barrier Reef every year. But this comes with boats that are snorkeling on the reef. This comes from boats running aground on the reef and destroying the reef. So its natural beauty is actually harming the reef in itself.